What's going on, everyone? Mitesh here, and Google just had their fall hardware lineup announcement, and they announced some really interesting things. They announced a new Chromecast with a remote, something that people have been wanting forever. Like, Chromecast is great, but having a remote with it so that you're not constantly dealing with on your phone trying to search for something to watch and then casting it to it, having an actual UI for the Chromecast so you can see things and pick things, that's fantastic. It's finally available, and yeah, you guys can pick it up actually right now from a lot of stores. You can go to Walmart and just pick one up right now for $50. I think a pretty good deal. I don't know, haven't tested it yet. When I get one in, I will definitely let you guys know if it's worth it or not. They also announced a new Nest home device, a Nest audio device. It's called the Nest Audio, and it's supposed to be a really nice speaker. It has, of course, Google Home built in, and yeah, that one's $100. Really interesting. I want to check it out, but not high up on my list for things that I want to check out. The things that are high up on my list are the new Pixel phone. So we have the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5. Actually, it's called the Pixel 4a with 5G. Terrible name, but it's a really interesting phone because it combines a lot of things that from the Pixel 4a lineup and the Pixel 5 lineup, and I think it's definitely one of the more interesting phones. But in this video, we're really going to talk about what the differences are between the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5. Let's talk about it. And the main reason that I want to make this video is, first of all, these two phones are $200 apart. So the Pixel 4a with 5G comes in at $500 and the Pixel 5 comes in at $700, but they have so many similarities between the two that I just thought it was an interesting choice to make between the two of the phones. So yeah, I really wanted to cover that. And I want to start off with something that they actually both have in common, and that is the processor. They both have the Snapdragon 765 processor, which we've known forever that it was going to have 765, and it's good. They both have an integrated 5G modem. That's why it's Pixel 4a with 5G, because they're both offering 5G. But the thing is, with the same processor, you're going to get the same exact type of computational performance from both of them. Now, the Pixel 5 does have 2 more gigabytes of RAM. It's got 8 gigabytes total of RAM versus the 6 gigabytes that you will see on the 4a 5G. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference in terms of performance, because 6 gigabytes of RAM, I think, is like the sweet spot for Android devices. You need that much to make it run super smooth, and 8 gigabytes is just a nice addition to have. You can run more apps together. You can load things a little bit faster maybe, but yeah, pretty much as long as you're up to 6 gigabytes, I think you're not going to notice too much of a performance improvement because you have 2 extra gigs of RAM. So in terms of performance, I expect these two to perform very similarly. So you got to wonder, like, $200 difference, where is that coming from, right? So it's coming from things like this screen. So the Pixel 4a with 5G actually has a bigger screen at 6.2 inches versus the 6 inches on the Pixel 5. They both have the exact same full HD display, so it's 1080p display, just a little bit elongated, so they are very tall displays, and they do have hole punch notches, unlike last year when the Pixel 4 had the whole Project Soli thing. Don't have that anymore. You just have a hole punch notch on both of them, and I think it looks good. I like what my Pixel 4a looks like, so they look pretty much the exact same. So that is something. But the difference is between the two displays, other than the size, is the fact that the Pixel 5 one has 90 hertz display. Same as last year's Pixel 4, 90 hertz is what you're going to get on this one. So that's kind of nice. I personally, just my own opinion, I don't think 90 hertz is worth it. I don't think $200 makes sense to get the 90 hertz display. Like, I definitely just don't think it's worth it. First of all, you take a hit on your battery life. I've had the Pixel 4 90 hertz display, and I don't find it to be that much better than the 60 hertz display. Like, honestly, I would just go ahead and go with the 60 hertz display. It's fine. Like, if I can get 90, great, but it's not that big of a deal to me. But the other differences you have between the two phones are going to be a little bit more noticeable. So first of all, they have, of course, different build materials. The Pixel 5 is made of aluminum and glass. Now, it's a little bit confusing because they say they have an aluminum back and it's all recycled aluminum, but they also have wireless charging, which is not possible through an aluminum back. So they must either have like a cutout for the wireless charging or something's going on there. I'm not sure, but they have wireless charging, and actually they even have reverse wireless charging. So if you have like headphones or something, or if you have another phone that you want to charge, you can actually just drop it on the back of it and it will charge that. Pretty cool. The Pixel 4a with 5G, no wireless charging whatsoever, just like the Pixel 4a, just no wireless charging. It has a plastic back, just like the Pixel 4a, and yeah, that is, of course, it's a trade-off in terms of materials, because of course you are getting it for $200 less. So that's that. I do find the Pixel 4a to be still a really well-built phone, and I have no doubt the Pixel 4a 5G will be similarly built, but the Pixel 5 is going to feel more premium, and the fact that it's got wireless charging is something that I know a lot of people want these days, so if you want wireless charging, Pixel 5 is pretty much your only option in terms of Pixel phones. Now, the other thing you have on the back is the fingerprint reader. So as I said, they both have a hole punch notch, so they got rid of the whole Project Soli thing. No more facial recognition for the Pixel 5. Instead, you get a fingerprint reader on the back, just like you do with the 4a and the 4a 5G, and now the 5. I honestly am very happy with this because, trust me, when you're wearing a mask, the face recognition it's the worst thing. Instead, having a fingerprint reader works really well. Now, if they could have had both, that would be great, but once again, it's a lower cost device than the Pixel 4 was last year, so it kind of makes sense they're cutting out some of these features. You still get to keep a nice display, you're just gonna miss out on the facial recognition, which I think is fine. The fingerprint reader works really, really well on the 4a, so I have no doubt it's going to work really well on the 4a 5G and the 5. And one of the few other features that the Pixel 5 has over the 4a 5G is the fact that it has an official IP rating, so it is certified as water and dust resistant. I think it's IP68. It's a great rating. I still wouldn't trust my phone around water. Like, if you can keep it away from water, that's obviously the best move, but you can get it wet and stuff and it's not a big deal. Whereas the Pixel 4a with 5G has no such certification, so that is what it is. Now, are these differences worth $200? I mean, it's really going to depend. Like, the better build quality is nice to have, but the fact that it's the exact same chipset, it's going to perform very similarly, makes me want to kind of lean towards the Pixel 4 with 5G, especially considering they have the biggest point similarly, and that is the fact that they have the exact same cameras on both of them. So I was a little bit surprised by this. I really thought with the Pixel 4a 5G, they would go with the single camera approach like they did with the Pixel 4. But instead, it's got the same regular angle and then ultra wide angle cameras that the Pixel 5 has. So yeah, I think it's awesome. I kind of wish they could have given a telephoto lens to the Pixel 5, make that price worth it, but they didn't. They have the exact same cameras, and yeah. So yeah, I think for a lot of people, the Pixel phones, the thing that you buy it for is the camera. And the fact that the camera is the same on both of them, and the fact that you're not getting original quality backups on either of them, I kind of lean towards the 4a 5G. Now, of course, build quality matters, and like I said, the aluminum is going to be a little bit better, but honestly, if you're going to throw it inside of a case anyways, I can overlook it. I would much rather go with the Pixel 4a with 5G. I really hate this name, but they don't have another name. Like, it's not the 4a XL, it's the 4a with 5G. Oh, and one last thing that I wanted to mention was battery size. So the Pixel 5 has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, or 4,000 something milliamp hour battery, and the Pixel 4a with 5G has a 3,885 milliamp hour battery. So the battery should last hopefully a little bit longer than the Pixel 5, although you do have that 90 Hz display, so that might offset a little bit. But it's really great to see Google finally putting in large batteries inside of these phones. It's something that Pixel phones have never done well, but now they're finally putting in large batteries, low power processors, which can get much better battery life. So I'm excited for the Pixel 5 for that reason alone, but the 4a 5G to me is just a better valued phone, and I think if you're in the market for a Pixel phone, that might actually be the sweet spot of Pixel phones to get. Now, for $150 less, you can get the 4a. So if you're really on a tight budget, the 4a is a fantastic device. I will have my full review coming soon for that one, but the 4a 5G to me is a really good value proposition. $500 is a good price for that phone. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I just really want to compare these two phones. I will be trying to get my hands on them very soon, but once again, I'm not a part of Team Pixel. Google is not sending out these devices to me, so I will have to pre-order them and wait like forever to get them. So you guys may just have to wait for those videos on my channel. But yeah, with that, that's pretty much it for this video. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!